Hey, what's up? It's Paul from Guitar World. Let me ask you this. Does the world need another overdrive? Well, I say definitively yes. And with that, I present to you the Maxon Apex808 Overdrive. This is their brand new overdrive. Even better, what I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to let you hear it compared to Maxon OD808 Overdrive as well. So you get to really hear all the nuanced differences between these two pedals. Two very popular pedals. But let's just say that the Maxon Apex808 is the apex of overdrives. So let's check it out. So before I get into it, let's give you a brief history of how this pedal came about. The Maxon Apex808, here on my left, is designed by Tube Screamer creator Susumu Tamura. I hope I said his name correctly. Now, Mr. Tamura is the designer of the original Maxon OD808 Overdrive, which I have here on my right, which subsequently was rebranded for Ibanez as the TS808 Tube Screamer, which of course went on to become the pedal of legend. Here we have Mr. Tamura's latest pedal, the new Maxon Apex808, which was developed after meticulous analysis of over 100 vintage and current production Tube Screamer 808 variants over a period of 3 years. Now that's the true definition of being meticulous. During the study, Tamura found that the best sounding Tube Screamer examples all featured not only a specific brand and model of an op amp, but also that op amp was used from a specific production period. So their NOS inventory of this hen's tooth IC, or integrated circuit, was sourced by Mr. Tamura and incorporated into the design of this Apex808. So before we get down to business, let's talk about how I'm going to achieve this. Starting over here, the Maxon OD808 is probably the closest thing to an original Tube Screamer TS808 sound that you will find out there. And then I'm going to move over here to the Maxon Apex808. I'm going to use the very popular and common tools of the trade that people want to hear these pedals with. So I have over here a Fender Stratocaster road-worn 50s, which has some great sounding single coil pickups. I'm also going to move over to my Gibson Custom Shop Black Beauty Les Paul over here. I'm also going to be using the Milkman Derriere head, which is a very Fender-like sound in a head running through the Marshall cab. So you get to really hear all the definition and nuance from these pedals with a clean sound on this amp. I'm also going to use the Marshall as well to give a little bit of drive to the pedal so you can hear how it really stacks with a gain sound off the Marshall into the pedal as well. So let's get started. I basically set up both the OD808 and the Apex808 with the same settings just to start off the top here, just so you can hear the amount of overdrive on each one. I'm going to start here with the Strat through the Milkman over here. Let's take a listen to what my Strat sounds like unaffected. Now let's start with the OD808. Now I set up a quick loop of just a little bit of a backing track, and I'm going to bounce between the OD808 and the Apex808, just soloing over it so you can hear all the nuance and the difference of sound. I'll reserve my comments towards the end, but take a listen with your ears here. Now switching over to the Les Paul, the Maxon Apex808 takes on a whole new character, as well as the OD808 because of the humbuckers as well, but you definitely hear a bigger sound here. So let's take a listen to both. First, here's my clean sound. Now let's switch over to the Marshall. I already have pretty much a gain tone. Let's take a listen to that. And with that kind of tone, you like to boost it with an overdrive. And so we're going to hear it right now with the OD808 as well as the Apex808 and really listen to how much the subtlety, the nuance, and then the feedback, which I'm going to give you. Here we go. Let's go. It's still going. It won't stop. So there you have it. I find the Maxon OD808 a totally warmer sounding pedal, like the true definition of when gearheads say it's a warmer sound. But here, the Apex808 has a total clarity and transparency with a touch of warmth. It's wildly noticeable, as you just heard. I found the Apex tone cuts through more vividly with real emphasis on note definition, and it also has low-end punch. But I have to be honest here, when it comes to overdrives, I generally favor sweeter sounding ones like the Maxon OD808. It's just a softer sounding tone with total warmth and sweeter mids, but it doesn't have the cutting clarity of the Apex, which I believe most guitarists will favor. However, it's hard not to love the Maxon Apex808 because it has a beautiful upper register clarity without you having to shave off any top end, or it doesn't sound harshly bright, and it has nominal compression. All of it works to give you a far more complex overdrive for many players who want that overdriven punch delivered with clarity. So while I would probably use the OD808 over here on its own with just an amp and in a simple rig, I'd most likely use the Apex808 with other pedals because this particular overdrive really pairs well with other pedals. And in most applications, the Apex is a better overdrive for the many different amplifiers it will be put through. So the Maxon Apex808 is truly a stellar overdrive. Again, these kind of things are very subjective, and it all depends on the type of rig you have and, of course, the type of tone you're looking for. Of course, if you lean towards the sweeter side, definitely the Maxon OD808 is the way to go. But for those who love that type of tone with a modern touch and with incredible clarity and punch, the Maxon Apex808 is the way to go. So definitely check it out.